Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Sunday to you all. Hopefully you are enjoying your weekends, or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully having a great day nonetheless. We return to the monumental, well, for me, the monumental drop from Miss Younha one time. It was so long since we gotten brand new music from her, considering the album with Event Horizon Sakone Shipyong-son was 2022. It was so long ago, and that was I'm pretty sure that was a repackage or some connection to the album that dropped with Orc Cloud that dropped in 2021. And honestly, this year has been the return of the soloist for me, because I was waiting for two artists to drop new music this year, Younha and IU, and both of them had drops this year. So I am a very satisfied Happy Bunny indeed. But we checked out the title track Taeyang Mulgogi, or Sunfish, a couple of days ago, I think. It was brilliant. It was Younha in her prime. So we have the rest of the Growth Theory album to check out. I believe this is a 10-track studio-length album. So we'll be checking out 9 brand new songs today, and I'm very much excited to get on board with this, because I'm pretty sure this is my first Younha era on camera. So that's very exciting indeed. So let's jump into it. Roll intro one time. Hopefully C9 and Younha drop a performance clip of Sunfish, because I want to update the intro. And we don't really get her singing in the MV for Sunfish at all. Fortunate, but hey ho, we make do with what we've got. So, long album to go. Buckle up, grab a snack, grab a drink, or if I'm along with you on your work days or whatever, hope you're having a good one. Anyways, track number 1, Mangrove Tree by Miss Younha. I am using Genius for the song credits, so unfortunately Genius doesn't have them separated, and the track list off of the promotional teaser is all in Hangul, and I don't want to make myself look a fool by trying to piece together Hangul, so we'll be using genius.com. Here we go. Love a song in 6/8.
시작과 끝이 어져 있다면 만물의 생은 정해져 있을까? 당연한 질문이야. 묻지 않는다면 명령할 수 없을 테니.
Oh, the low vocal. Hello.
탄식이 자라 허무함이 되면 살만한 이유 한 가지쯤에 붙잡혀 알게 되지. 착각을 거듭해 이루어져 온 세계. 하늘과 땅
Loud.
거창한 이유는 없을 테니 바다에 남은 더 전큰의 삶이 있어.
Huge meter switch too with that growth. And then we're back into the jazz lounge again. What? That's crazy. Little fingerstyle guitar coming in. And then suddenly it gains intensity out of seemingly nowhere, and almost turns it into like this epic song. Epic as in like the film genre. bit. God, the dramaticism of that chorus release is unbelievable. And we're back in the jazz lounge again. You know what's crazy is this goes to two very different places sonically. But I can't imagine, like, now that we've finished listening to this song, I can't imagine this song without it going to the extremes of, like, the filmmaking, like, epic direction and the really gentle, quite laid back, like, jazz lounge direction. These are two vastly different places to be, you know. In a movie theater, jazz lounge. Very different environments. And yet somehow Mangrove Tree decides to take us to both of those places and do a terrific job of taking us to those two places. This, you know, throughout the verse when you get that really chill, refined, like, jazz drum part with the pizzicato strings in the background is very almost borderline elegant in a way. It's very mature, very grown-up sound, very subtle, but a very prominent, like, flavor of sound that you get, right? Jazz lounge is kind of almost affiliated with, like, the dimly lit, you know, vinyl lit, no, not vinyl lit, vinyl lit bench seating, maybe a little bit like cigar smoke in the air, dimly lit lights, you know, nice, well-stocked bar with a bartender serving up whiskeys on the rocks or whatever. That kind of aesthetic, right? And then all of a sudden that chorus rolls around and it's like adventure film scene. You know, the environment was revealed to the characters for the first time. Ooh, huge soundscape. Wow. Like, that chorus release from Mangrove Tree feels like I, the listener, just got to witness the film environment of, you know, the movie Avatar with the blue people? Like, that environment, you know, with the floating islands and stuff, just whoosh, feels like I've just, like, broken through the clouds and seeing this brand new world that we've never experienced before. It's got that amount of expansiveness to it, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, darling. Wow. Keep her moving, though. Track number 2, Antmill, written by Younha and Yi-Ha-un. Right. Ramp it up one time, alrighty. First of all, low vocal. Second of all, it's slower than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, that slow lead in for the chorus. We do ramp it up in the post-chorus, though. Interesting. But we slow it back down for the verse. One of my favorite vocals when it comes to, like, the almost natural, like, lighthearted vocal is Younha. But sometimes I forget that she's capable of this sound too. peep all the layers going on too. There's like 2 or 3 different background vocal parts. Holy soundstage. It is huge. This bridge is amazing. Hello, guitar. Hello, double time. Oh, crunchy lead in? Okay. Sorry, I was taking notes because I figured this was a long album. I need to take notes. Oh my goodness! No wonder I was like, no wonder that song felt like it was going forever because it's almost 4 minutes long in this K-pop economy. Crazy, but yes, intense Younha. I always forget that this exists. Is my favorite flavor of Younha's vocal is Sakone Shipyeon's song, is Orc Cloud, is Sunfish, is more the kind of like natural, more folky type music. I think her voice just suits it so much. But then you remember she has songs like, you know, Password 486, if we're gonna go way back into her discography, or songs like I definitely called it Anthill earlier, didn't I? It's Antmill. Correct that in my notes as well. That's embarrassing. I can read, definitely. But then you also get songs like Antmill that really just turns up the intensity everywhere. Oh my god, I enjoyed that so much. Because that feels like... Has she done Japanese OSTs before? Now that has me wondering. Younha, discograph, Japan. I know she's done a whole bunch of stuff in terms of like on the Japan side of things, but oh god, the list just keeps going. It just keeps going. Oh my god, how long does it go? Oh god. Okay, so I don't know if these earlier ones are OSTs or if they're like singles that she's done in Japan, but it doesn't look like she's done. I mean, they might not be listed, of course, but that is like the type of song I would imagine for like an opening or an ending song for a really intense anime, like say, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen. It's got the intensity there in the music already, and she owns the vocal side of things as well. Like, yeah, getting more Japan coded song from Younha as well. Great time indeed. I'm not very familiar with her like really early Japanese stuff. In fact, I'm not too familiar with her earlier stuff just in general, but a good time. I'm also realizing that probably picking B-side of the album is going to be impossible on this album, but we move anyway. Track number 3, Attention, written by Younha, Juno, and Perry. Familiar names. Are we going a little bit Gaelic? Celtic song at 12/8? Fiddle and pan or tin flute? I did say I like her like folky vocal the most out of all the different flavors of Younha though, so I've also been just done a quick Google. It's not Gaelic, it's Celtic is the proper term for it. That's on me. But yes, Celtic Younha too. But I love that it's in 12/8 though. 'Cause it's so fast. And it's not the same 12/8. It's like every single phrase of the song gets a different emphasis on what beats in the 12/8 gets accented. I used to know how to play the penny whistle. I wonder if I still do. But yeah, notice the different rhythmic patterns. This is an entirely different rhythm pattern to the verses. I could never fiddle. I could never do it. I was a violin player growing up, but I only played classical growing up, so. Oh, with a fade out finish too. I was not expecting Celtic music today. I genuinely was not expecting Celtic music. I'm so happy it's in here though. Wow. I like listening through it. I know I didn't say a whole lot during that, especially through verse 1, but I was like getting over the fact that one, we were just getting any Celtic based music in general. Because I had a phase when I was living in the UK. What was it, for 2 odd years or so, 2 or 3 years? I had a phase where I fell in love with a group called Celtic Thunder. A whole bunch of like traditional Celtic music that's been kind of popified a little bit, so to speak. They were a great time, and I had a huge phase of just Celtic Thunder music. Since then, you know, K-pop has kind of taken back over my musical life recently, but I never would have thought that that side of me, like my musical taste, and the K-pop world would come together like this. But of course, leave it to Miss Younha to absolutely knock it out of the park. I would love to see what this song is like written on sheet music. Because the song being in 12/8, 12/8 is, I think, such a unique time signature, is you can divide it into a slow 4, but each measure or each beat is subdivided on its own into 3. So you get like a natural lilt in and amongst every individual beat. That's where that 12/8 formula comes into play. And 12/8 allows for some really cool rhythm patterns. And Attention really has about 2 or 3 main rhythmic sequences, and they're all different based off of what part of the song you're in. all while still remaining in that 12/8 time signature. Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot get over the fact that we just got like tin whistle or penny whistle, fiddle, Celtic music. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna like show up in my dreams tonight. Right, but we keep removing track number 4, Silvering. I gotta scroll down the list a little bit. Younha, Juno, Go Yoon Jin, and Yi Sun Woo on the writing side. Get out! It's Popify, but it's Celtic Take 2.
오늘이 오기만을 기다려왔어 하루가 멀었어 진작 준비 끝 뭐든 가능할 것 같은 기분이야 햇살에 은빛 드레스도 반짝이니까 먼 바다 끝에 다다를 때 누구도 만나지 못한 비밀 우리가 처음으로 알게 되면 어떡해 이 길로 쭉
It's got a terrific beat though. Great kick. It's not as like true to its roots Celtic like Attention was, but it's got lingering elements to it where it has just enough of an essence to it, you know what I mean? I'm having so much fun. Oh my goodness. The thing is, even though it goes into that pop vibe in places, the pop vibe is great too. So what, we've got... There's the tin whistle. Actually, no, it's not tin. It's not sharp enough to be tin. So we've got some kind of flute, Irish flute. We have mandolin, fiddle in there as well. Oh my goodness, Younha, you are treating me today, ma'am. Reload it, it's too short, go again. Oh my goodness. Okay, Attention into Silvering back to back. Oh my goodness, I cannot explain to you how much fun that was. Genuinely, my face hurts from smiling so much over these two songs. Oh my goodness, Silvering might be one of my favorite songs I've listened to from like a soloist all year. It's so good. And the fact that it follows up Attention. Oh my goodness. This makes me miss Scotland. Like, I know I constantly refer to it as like England or UK and stuff, but I was studying up in Scotland for the most part, and just like hearing certain times when you go to like Irish pubs or just walk through town and you have fiddlers or pipers around, it's just, oh, the environment was so good. A little rough around the edges sometimes, Scotland, but the environment was so nice. And this makes me miss it so much. But, brudda, oh my, ah, I'm losing my mind over this. I'm genuinely losing my mind over Silvering. And, sure, it's popified a little bit. But honestly, the popified parts are really good. They bring such a nice, like, natural party vibe. Like, the atmosphere it creates is so wonderful to listen to. And then you follow it up with the Celtic post-chorus, like the instrumental and the shouts, like, oh, It's so good. Oh my goodness, keep moving. I can't spend too much time on this before I lose my mind and eventually cave and listen to it again. But Silvering, favorite song on the album so far. But we move on to track number 5, Curse for the Rocket Formula, written by Juno, and Perry.
알고 있니 꿈과 일상의 차이는 뭘까 하루에도 12번 생각해 난 특별한 사람이고 싶어
Bring it back down a little bit.
그렇잖아 아무래도 차 없이 높이 날고 싶어
That lingering 808 in the background is throwing me off, but also very promising. And there's that heaviness I was expecting to come in. Head low, head voice. Is anybody else getting like Pixar kind of film OST vibes from this? Oh, maybe not. Hello, guitar. Such a good release. If anyone wants to play along to this on guitar, it goes E, C sharp minor, A, B, I think, B major. Oh. Was not expecting to drop out like that. Thought maybe they're gonna ride that out. Incremental increase. Ended on just the isolated vocal to finish. Ooh, that's gorgeous. I forgot to take notes. Punchy, Pixar. Maybe not Pixar, but it does kind of feel like an animated film soundtrack, or like on the movie trailer in a way. You know what I mean? We'll put Pixar, I guess, for now. That is what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm having so much fun with this album, man. Curse for the Rocket Formula, though, does feel like a return to the Younha that I kind of got used to listening to. Sure, it's flavor-wise a little bit different to, say, the likes of Orc Cloud or Event Horizon. There's an intensity to it, well, there's a heaviness to it that is very good. But then you pair that instrumental heaviness with the high flying vocals as well, and it's not, we're getting like belted high notes from Younha through this. And I think the combo of just intense with intense, but while still maintaining, like, not overwhelming the listener. Well, maybe emotionally overwhelming, sure, but like volume-wise, not overwhelming the listener, even though the instrumental and the vocals kind of go off. Good, very good, very good. It kind of reminds me of like sonically in terms of genre, like Gaho's Start Over a little bit from Itaewon Class. It's got that heaviness to it. It's got that similar BPM Yeah, similar BPM, similar sensation. I think the release in the chorus is also very similar as well in the sensation that you get from listening to it. And it makes me miss having a guitar around because I could strum along to that pretty easily. And I'm pretty sure the main chords go E major, C sharp minor, A major into B major. Like that you can get by through I think most of the song with just those 4 chords. Now, if I had my guitar, I would be so strumming along to that right now. Unfortunately, I don't have it, and that makes me angry. I miss my guitar, man. That song is brilliant. Genuinely, like, these songs are so good. I know Attention and Silvering were, like, up there, but I'm genuinely not going to be able to pick, like, one favorite B-side off this album, because this album is so good. Any hoosers, we keep moving. Track number 6 technically is Sunfish, or 태양 물고기, the title track. Since we've already spent a good chunk of time on it on its own in MV form, we're not going to listen to it now to save time, but let me read off the credits very quickly. So track number 6 is Sunfish, or 태양 물고기, written by Younha and Juno, which takes us to track number 7, Coriolis Force, written by Younha and Juno.
Almost done, very close. 마지막
There's some tasty chords going on here.
진짜로 마지막 믿는 방법밖에는 할 수 있는 게 없어. 말라 죽을 것 같은 날들 구름 한 점 없으니 바람은 고사고 남았다 말하기엔 쥐어짜내니
Oh my goodness, where did that come from? I was too busy taking notes. I just looked up and... That digital work is like immediately gives off almost like video gaming vibes, but then it switches gears so quickly, and it's just like such brief little elements we get that digital stuff going on. I'm just surprised at how we get here. Because, like, if you listen along to it, it makes sense how we get to this, like, heavy rock chorus. But then you get, like, the sporadic digital elements coming in as well. It's like... The constant vocal stacking, though, is a great plus for me. I was bracing myself for the high note, for that melody to continue, hit the high note, and that is what signified the chorus coming in. I was like, I braced for it physically. Yeah, and then we get the digital thing again. Huh. Wait, that was kind of neat, though. Like, apart from being a little bit thrown off by the digital inclusion, Coriolis Force has a nice punchiness to it. It's a nice kind of weighty beat to it. It's not a terribly fast song by any means, and I think that's where the kind of weightiness in the beat comes from, is the fact that it's not very fast. But the standout for me on this is the double stack vocals throughout the chorus, because it creates such a nice tone. Especially by the fact that the main chorus line isn't that high, it's decently high, but it's not high for Younha by any means. And then you add that lower vocal part below it, it creates a really just wonderful texture to listen to. Hmm. I do wonder though, what is the Coriolis effect? Because what I'm thinking of is the Doppler effect, and that's not what this is. Coriolis effect is the inertial force that acts on an object in motion within a frame of reference that oh, I see. Yeah, that's definitely not what I thought it was. Never mind. Anyways, I was gonna try and pretend to sound very fancy and know what I'm talking about when it comes to science. Coriolis effect is a little bit over my pay grade, but we move anyways. Track number 8, Life Review, written by Younha, Juno, and Lee Ha-eun. Digital wind chimes. Why am I getting Dear Evan Hansen vibes now? Never mind. Oh, it skips. This is a very promising song already, by the way. French horn section? Hello, cello. I'm loving that we're slowly working our way through the full orchestra here. Hello, brass ensemble. Brass ensemble. That's not what I was trying to say. Shoulder strings, my people. Hello. Oh, and a proper firm kick now. Separate vocal parts in each ear. Oh, that was Nate. This time shoulder strings taking lead in verse 2. Oh my god, this song makes me very happy. Like, in a very different way to Attention and Silvering. It does feel like an upbeat version of You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. But Life Review has tickled the nostalgia bone within me. Because I grew up playing classical violin in orchestras. I played in string orchestras throughout high school. I played in a full orchestra for the first couple of years of my undergrad. And honestly, like, music has always been kind of a release for me. Like, once I got past the point of, you know, like the early learning days where I was taking like lessons and cramming through theory books and stuff like that. After you kind of graduate out of that, you either continue to do it because you enjoy it, or you continue to do it as a passion and as a job. So people that go off into, you know, go off and join like symphony orchestras and stuff. I was never that serious about it, but for me, playing in orchestra was always a release. It was like I could kind of detach myself from the outside world and just enjoy the experience of just being surrounded by musicians and music. Life Review gives me that exact same sensation. Like, Life Review for me, when I listen to it, it teleports me into the violin section of the strings of the orchestra that is playing along to this song. I'm not listening to it just to listen to it. I'm listening to it to like feel that essence of the orchestra as I'm listening to it. I have to place myself within the song. Like, there's no other way for me to approach it. And that direct connection I have to this song just makes it so much better for me. And the fact that it's really pretty, like the way it started without any main beat to go off of, I was already getting, You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. That is my favorite song from Dear Evan Hansen. It's such a pretty song. You use dramatic elements. And then the beat comes in and you realize it's actually quite quick and it skips along a little bit. Then you get Yuna's vocals coming in with the one singular brass section. It could either be trombone, but it's too clean. I'm guessing it's French horn. And then you get the solo cello coming in, and then the full orchestra comes in. Second verse, you have the shoulder strings taking lead. It's just, oh my goodness. I miss playing in an orchestra too. I miss being involved with music, like physically being involved with music. I just don't have the time to do it on top of, I mean, this is a hobby, so I could, but I can't play any instruments in here because my building doesn't allow for instruments. And I don't have time to do it at school because I'm in a PhD program and research is 95% of my daily activities. Oh, that song is, I'm in my feelies now. But we keep moving anyways. 2 more songs to go. Part of Cloud, track number 9, written by Younha.
그만 울어도 돼 별일이 아니니 맘이 얼기설기 얽혀있을 뿐이니 지나면 그런 대로 괜찮아질 테니까 믿어도 돼.
There's a spider on my ceiling. Hello, spider, bro.
할 얘길 먹으리 정리하려고 해 의식을 치러도 삶은 계속될 텐데
That howl from the flute there was,
우리가 있다는 걸
oh my goodness, this is gorgeous.
기록하고 있어 기억해 줄래 맑은 물방울 떨어지기 전에 처음 보았던 구름의 그림자 넓은 대지와 바다를 누비고 돌아갈 준비를 마친 한 장의 사진처럼 비가 되어도 보이지 않아도 기억해 줄래 구름의
I'm not sure how to describe this song yet.
우리 마음이 구름이 되던 기적 어디든 떠올라 세상을 유연하게
The slow evolution to the digital instruments was really cool. This flute instrument, the fact that it's not perfectly pitched, makes me think it's an actual person playing it, and that makes it so much better.
사라지는 것들에 슬퍼하지만 너와 함께 있을 테니 너와 나 사이 누구든 기억하면 우린 함께 있을 테니 걱정하지 않아도 돼 맑은 물방울 떨어지기 전에 처음
It's in the only way that I can describe dramatic. If it's very film OST-esque, but it's very dramatic. But that flute section is perfect. Yeah, Part of Cloud is a song that I don't have the words to describe. It's an absolutely gorgeous song. But at the same time, I don't really know how to begin to describe it. I'm gonna try and let my kind of very overly creative mind cook up a scene that this could go into. It's like if I'm really struggling here. It's like at the end of the film when you're seeing the protagonist of like a fantasy genre film, and you're seeing the main group of protagonists leave that fictional world and return to the real life, and they're seeing the environment one last time. Does that describe enough of a mental image? But it feels like the type of music that would accompany that sort of scene. It's like it's a very bittersweet, like a kind of farewell type of song where it's like you were in this different world. You're really enjoying. You had a grand old adventure, but the adventure has come to an end, and you have to say goodbye to all the people or all the characters that you made connections to, and they just kind of, disperse into the distance, and you fly through the clouds, and story ends. It's got that kind of like bittersweet, but also it's got that kind of natural beauty to it that is so gorgeous. But the killer is that flute, or the flautist in this, because there's no way that is a digital flute. There is someone playing the flute on that song, and whoever is playing the flute on that song has done a wonderful job of it, because by having the pitch bends and by having some notes be purposely slightly out of tune, it gives it that more true, natural feeling. It doesn't feel like a digital instrument is doing it. Sometimes, when you come across a song with a classical orchestra or something like that, you can kind of tell when it's done digitally, but you can also tell when it's done naturally, with the physical instrument, with a person playing it. Part of Cloud feels like there's a real flute with a real person playing it. There's no other way you can get that natural sounding pitch bend and the kind of tone flutter. Oh, I love the little details like that. And one final song on the album, East Wind, track number 10, written by Younha and Juno.
시작 검은 끝이 존재하는 세상의 매일을 끝내 내게 돌아오기 위해 떠나왔던 거란 걸 알게 됐을 때 제자리에 또 다른 깨달음 천만 일어서면 천만 넘어졌던 빛을 내지 못하던
Oh, we're really in the natural bag now, aren't we?
내게도 약이 되어 숨이 차오를 때 머뭇거려질 때 적어도 네 곁으로 달려가림 그렇게 되는 거야
Oh, that's not the drop I was expecting, though. Sorry, I'm currently making myself deaf right now, but so worth it. Do I even call that a rock chorus drop? I don't know what that chorus drop was, but give me more of that. Oh, go softer. My brain is rattling in my head, but I don't care. But it's like the song starts with this really pretty, almost natural sound, and all of a sudden it's like, oops. It's like all the weight comes in at the end, and it's a crazy experience. But oh. Also, that did not feel like 3 minutes. That felt like 2 minutes. That went by so quickly. But wow, does that song really hit home, huh? Like, I was fully expecting, you know, it's the final song on the album. We're gonna have to finish it in some way, shape, and form. Whether it's that really intense direction, whether we go the party banger, whether we go with the really emotional ballad. I mean, Younha could do any of those three songs. Those three of those. Jesus, let me try that again. Younha can do any of those three genres of music, and she does them spectacularly well. That wasn't even a word, but we're gonna run it anyways because apparently I can't speak anymore. But East Wind really comes in and just hammers home that kind of finale element to it. It's not a big party banger type vibe. It's not a song that'll get you up in your feet and dancing along to it. It's not the sappy emotional ballad where you're going to be like bawling your eyes out, like wailing to the heavens because you're so emotionally invested in the song. But it does end on a bang, and that bang is that chorus drop when the intensity just gets ramped all the way up to 11. But honestly, I don't care the fact that it went from the supernatural sound to something that just like really almost like punches me in the eardrums. Because the fact is, that natural sound is such a good setup because it gets you to kind of, lower your guard a little bit, really enjoy the atmosphere that the song has created. And then all of a sudden you hear the guitar like digital signal whale come in, ramp up, and then everything hits you all at once. It's like, all right, I see you. I'm here for it. And the song just kind of goes about its business. I'm a little bit overwhelmed by that. And like weirdly enough, I have similar feeling to what I would have had I listened to a ballad to finish. I'm like so emotionally invested in this album that I'm sad that it's over. Even though we ended on a literal bang, like I'm sad that it's over now. Oh my goodness. What I am about to say, I mean absolutely no disrespect to any of the other solo artists that I've checked out this year, and we've checked out a lot of solo artists, but this for me is my soloist album of the year, and it is not even close. I'm so flabbergasted by how good and how stacked this album is. You get so many different flavors of Younha across this album, and weirdly enough, not one of them is a true ballad. Every single one really has a kick in its step, has a little bit of a brightness to it, and it goes so freaking hard. Oh my goodness. I knew I was going to enjoy this album, but this was leagues beyond what I could have imagined this to be. It's unreal how good of a quality this is, and you really do get a little bit of everything. You want a little bit classical? Go with a song like, what's the actual full title of the song because I acronymized it, Rocket Formula. You want a little bit of your more intense song? Go Antmill, go East Wind. or Coriolis. I think it's Coriolis Force. You want something a little bit pretty? Sure, like part of Cloud is a little bit heavier, but it has the flute element making it very pretty. Mangrove Tree, I think, really gives that cinematic experience really well. If you want to traverse to the island of Ireland one time, head down to the Irish pub one time, get a little bit of attention or silvering in your life. It's just... Oh, Life Review is the other one that has the classical element to it in it, because it's also very musical sound. Like, there really is a whole lot of everything going on in this album, and all of it is so freaking good. I cannot articulate with words that do this album justice. It's so good. It's so freaking good, and I had so much fun with this. And here's the thing. I reckon there's going to be a lot of good solo albums that drop this year. They are going to be hard-pressed to top this. And again, I mean that with no disrespect to the other artists in the industry, but this is a ridiculous album. And I will be listening to this album on repeat for years. And like, this is an album that I will unashamedly send to people that aren't like involved in K-pop, because it gives you so many different things to choose from. And none of it really screams K-pop. It just sounds like a Korean artist doing her thing. And I think that is the charm of Younha, where you don't really get just like blatant K-pop songs. You get a little bit of a whole bunch of different stuff. I don't think I've had this much fun in an album in a hot minute. But that was spectacular. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well, but that is where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you all for listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, kind of like what this album did for me today. Whether it be checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day today. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!